Pull up, pull up. Because we got a lot to discuss today. We live and direct. Check me out. Wack 100 went crazy on Jay Prince and the Mob Tie guys out of Houston. We gonna talk about it though. Just gonna wait for a second. Let them get them notifications out. Let them know we live and direct though. I'm just trying to find the video. I think I got it. What up? What up though? What up? Hopefully everybody good out there. Everybody good out there. I was gonna go live earlier, but I had some other shit I had to do real quick. So we live right now. You heard? And today we got a lot to discuss. Did y'all see that video? Cam with Cam and Mace on a podcast. They went in on Jay Prince, but they were speaking facts though. Like they were speaking facts. I ain't gonna lie. Cause today we got a lot to discuss. And to be honest, I mean before we get into it, I don't even know why. Okay, because Mason and CAMRON, they podcasters. And they, of course, ex hip hop artists and things of that. They, well, you can't say ex because they still do what they do and know what they know. But if they made a comment about Shakur Stevenson, his boxing performance, why Jay Prince jumping out the window? See, that's what everybody want to know. Like Jay Prince, why you in everybody business? Like you got ties to different artists, you managing different people, you got different interests out there in the music industry. So like just stick to your business. You stick to what it is that you doing. If they got issues outside of that, that don't have nothing to do with you. That's why today we got a lot to discuss. And it's this is common though, people getting into other people's business for no reason. For those of y'all that just checking in, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Let me know who you is when you come in the building. Let me know who you is. So that y'all can get in on this discussion. Cause today we got a lot to discuss. Um, so pretty much the thing is, Nari Allen, what's going on? How you doing? So the thing is, right? Jay Prince, how the whole situation started. Shakur Stevenson, he had a fight the other day. Now this is you don't have to be a boxing fan, right? But Shakur Stevenson, he's a boxer, he's an up and coming boxer, and he's trying to do his thing. But to be honest with you, a person that watched boxing and been watching boxing for years, Stephen Shakur, he's really not that exciting of a boxer. And then he's trying to go up against big names like Tank Davis. He's trying to go against, he calling people out that he really not ready for. But Mason CAMRON, they got their show, It Is What It Is podcast. Now, they made a comment in regard to Shakur performance. They like, man, he trash, They say he's not really ready to fight no A-list celebrities. And then they was kind of trolling a little bit because you had a picture of CAMRON laying on the floor while Mace was laid back with his hand over his face. Then now you got Jay Prince jump out the window talking about, yo, anybody disrespecting him, we gonna take it to the streets. And it's like, Jay Prince, you 60 years old though. Like, what are you talking about? You threatening CAMRON and MASE for making a comment about a boxer performance. Like you making no sense. But then you got Wack 100, and this is like the second or third time. You got Wack 100 disrespect Jay Prince, call him all kind of bitches and everything, and he don't reply. Why he don't reply? It's selective politics. Why is it selective politics? The reason why he being selective is because he knows Wack 100 is a Piru blood from California. He got a whole coast behind him, as well as he got a whole gang behind him. And Jay Prince army is not that strong, you know? So, but why is Jay Prince at 60 years old trying to get into business that don't got nothing to do with him? That's what I want to know. What's your opinion on that? Like, what do y'all think about that? Do y'all think Jay Prince had a right, or you know, it made sense for him to get into that situation? To me, it don't make no sense. And you know, Wack 100, he like destroyed him. Like, man, you sounded stupid, you know. But then CAMRON and MASE, they came back too. MASE was laughing at him. MASE is like, wait, hold on. Since you want to jump out the window, like, we gonna talk to you. You know, we gonna talk to you because you sounded stupid. Like, you know, you sounded stupid coming at them about something that they got going on. Like, get the fuck out of here. Yeah. And then what y'all think of the Judge Glanville? What y'all think of the Judge Glanville thing though? Glanville wound up getting kicked off of, he wound up getting kicked off of the Young Thug YSL case. That's the latest and the greatest. And I knew he was gonna get kicked off the case. Like, I followed that story. I followed that story for a little while. I did a couple of videos on it too. I knew he was gonna get kicked off the case, but the last straw was he had a meeting. He had a meeting with Lil Woody, the district attorney, and they had the meeting in his chambers. And the reason why the reason why they filed that motion to recuse to get him kicked off the case is because, like, how you having a meeting with a witness in your chambers, and the defense lawyers is not available. The defense lawyer is not part of that meeting. Young Thug lawyer wasn't there. None of the defense lawyers that was representing YSL was in that meeting. So they filed these motions to get him kicked off the case, and they got him kicked off the case. It's another judge been assigned to the case though. Her name is I can't remember her name, but it's another black lady judge. But they saying that based on everything that was going on already, that is, it don't even make no sense for the case to go on. It don't make no sense. Like, they should just throw the case out and free Young Thug. Like, free that man. The trial been going on for 9 months. All of the witnesses that they had come to the stand, even everything that Lil Woody say, nothing tied Young Thug to nothing. They just saying he's the head of it because, you know, I don't know, I guess it's his name. But you can't say that he committed no crime. Only thing is going to be is hearsay. People saying he did this, people saying he did that, but his hand's not in nothing. So I think he was kind of smart for that. But that's how it be like when you got money, though. You know what I'm saying? When you got money and it's people under you that don't got money, or people from your neighborhood that don't got money, you could get them to do whatever it is you want. So that's the whole thing with the YSL RICO. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think he gonna beat them charges. I think he gonna get around the charges. What y'all think about that? Jay Prince is like the song Nas made 20 plus years ago, Second Childhood. Yeah. But it's like, Jay Prince, what are you doing? Like, you rich, you been rich. You know, you situated the man on a whole island. Like, what are you, Stephen Shakur is what, in his 20s, his 30s? Like, what are you even doing getting into some business of somebody 20, 30 years younger than you? Like, go sit down somewhere, you know? That shit was working back in the days because, see, back in the 80s when Jay Prince had Rap-A-Lot Records and he was moving through the industry, he was he was still in the streets at that time. He still had ties to the streets. He still had a little name. He still had a little reputation. And he had a little money. So, of course, when you got money, it's the same thing with Young Thug. When you got money, you could get people to do whatever it is you want them to do when you in the streets. Because you got broke dudes in the streets that got guns. You feel what I'm saying? And they trying to get a name and they willing to use them because for them it's about reputation. So it's nothing to get shooters. But Jay Prince, when the last time you been in anything, you know? And then do people forget? Do people forget? I don't even, me personally, I don't even know why. And Jay Prince only become relevant, and this is the real spill. Jay Prince only become relevant when he make a comment about something that somebody else is doing. That's the only time he become relevant. Aside from that, ain't nobody thinking about Jay Prince. So I think that's the way he keep his name out there, just by getting in other people's business and talking about what they got going on. It's like you're not happy with yourself. Like, sit down. You're about to be in a retirement home, a nursing home, or something like that. You know? I never seen the trial last that long. Yeah, 9 months. The trial been 9 months, and it's hopefully it's over because again they don't have no evidence to tie Young Thug to nothing, but because he's the money man and they feel like he's the one that could get a lot of shit done, that's the reason why they trying to take him down. You know, that's what that boiled down to. But Jay Prince, he crazy. Jay Prince crazy. I bet he ain't say nothing to Wack 100. Bet he ain't say nothing to Wack because Wack will pull up on him. Wack will pull up with the Pyru on Pyru. Wack will pull up on him. And Shakur Stevens, see, this is and this is the other thing about that situation, right? So MASE and CAMRON, and they podcast this. Anybody want to check them out? They got the podcast called It Is What It Is. Come and Talk to Me podcast. They should be lit over there too. But so what wound up happening is they made a comment. They said that his performance was trash. Shakur Stevens responded to them like wanting all of the smoke, talking about he gonna get the strap, you know, like it's gonna be that when he see him. And they like, what are you talking about? You a boxer. How are you talking about guns and talking about tough and pulling up on somebody? Like, that don't make no sense. And that's what's wrong with this generation. Everybody think it's so cool. Everybody think it's so funny, you know, to threaten people and talk about get the strap and what you gonna do and all of that. So now Mace and CAMRON, you know, they official dudes. Mace had his little run-ins with the streets. And they said he ran to Atlanta because he had some beef back in the days. But CAMRON, he stayed on the scene the whole time. CAMRON ain't never went nowhere. But they definitely not them individuals that's gonna let somebody like Shakur Stevenson, a boxer, come at them talking about some smoke and they gonna let that ride. It's like, nah, it's not happening. So now they come back at him and he don't even reply, but Jay Prince get involved. It's like, Jay, what are you doing? And Jay Prince is like 60 years old. He probably older than 60. But if them young boys get up on you or get up with you, you know, with them choppers, with them switches and all that, like, what you gonna do? You know, you don't got an army. You don't got an army big enough to, come on, man. It's a different day and age. And that's what happened when older dudes, they be trying to stay in the mix and, you know, be trying to stay in these young folk business or be still trying to act like they down. You got to know when it's time to retire. You got to know when it's time to sit down, relax, and be easy. Like, be easy. But that's what's going on with that situation. If you were it ain't, to be honest, it ain't really even nothing worth looking into for real. It's just Mason CAMRON said something to Shakur saying his boxing performance was trash. He got mad, start talking crazy, start talking violence, talking about the strap and all that. They responded to him. Jay Prince jumped in the situation, and then he got something to say. And Mace was like he's selective, like he doing he doing selective politics through his army is like 60 will pull. Yo, listen to this. I hear what you saying. I hear what you saying, right? And to your comment, I'ma say this. Anybody that got money, they could pull a team of people together, but you gotta ask yourself a question. You think Jay Prince is trying to go down? You think Jay Prince is trying to go down over some beef? You think Jay Prince trying to get himself caught up in a situation where he gonna be indicted and go to jail? Let's be serious. It's not happening. And he could be as tough as he want. He wasn't tougher than John Gotti, the gangster John Gotti, but look what happened to John Gotti when he went to jail. See, dudes be legend in their own minds. It's like, okay, at once upon a time, Jay Prince was in the street. Now, because he got money, yeah, he could get on the phone and he could have some dudes for Houston pull up. But answer me this question, though. Why he didn't say nothing to Wack 100? Wack 100 didn't call him all kind of bitches, then violated him online. Why he ain't say nothing to Wack 100? Wack 100, he Pyru blood. He got a whole coast behind him. It's Pyru bloods everywhere. No matter who Jay Prince got that's going to pull up with him, they can't go against Wack 100 and his squad. And it's, again, it's selective politics because, okay, remember the situation with Pusha T and Drake, and there was a couple of other situations with Drake, right? Who got involved? Jay Prince got involved. What happened with Kendrick Lamar was just wilding Drake out. What happened then? Why he didn't get involved? Why? Because Kendrick Lamar is connected to gangs in Los Angeles. And if if Jay Prince beef with the wrong people, if he go to Los Angeles, them boys gonna get up with him. So it's selective politics. That's the issue. It's selective politics. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's selective politics. And I don't, nobody should respect that. Because he getting in business that don't got nothing to do with him. Why are you getting in business of boxers if you manage Shakur or not? If you manage him, that's on you. When the last time you heard a manager jump out the window and going at somebody or trying to beef with somebody, take it to the streets? Are you a businessman or are you in the streets? See, that's the confusion. With Jay Prince, what are we doing here? You a businessman or you in the streets? He's confused, you know? And I'm telling you, but and we talking about this, right? He's trying to be relevant. He's trying to be relevant behind this situation, speaking up for Shakur. But what happened with the Takeoff situation? Okay, they were supposed to, Takeoff was supposed to be under Mob Ties protection. He got murdered out there. What happened? And what was the other dude that got murdered out there? That was out there with Jay Prince and with Jay Prince Jr. and them. The jeweler from Chicago. So now those are real situations. Jay Prince, if you such a larger than life figure and you got all of this power and you got all of these people behind you, okay, you got two people that got murdered in your city. What's happening? What's going on? Talk to me. What's going on? Why those situations didn't get addressed? If you talking about you holding down the city, and then you got people like Charleston White, that's from Texas, violated Jay Prince, disrespected Jay Prince, talking about he don't run and control nothing from his own city. What happened? He ain't do nothing. He ain't speak on that. Who else violated him? Sauce Walker. Sauce Walker from Texas. He violated Jay Prince. Jay Prince ain't say nothing. Now, Charleston White is out there. So what we saying that Charleston White is lying? Charleston White live in Texas. He's saying Jay Prince don't run nothing. He don't control nothing. Why Jay Prince ain't get at him? He right there in his backyard. And then Sauce Walker said the same thing. He don't run and he don't control nothing out here. So why didn't he address Sauce Walker? Why the goons ain't run down on Sauce Walker or Charleston White? And they all from the same state. That's how you know, like, dudes be legends in their own mind. That's why he need to sit down, because you selective in what it is that you addressing. You feel what I'm saying? He's selective. But if you're trying to be an example, if you're trying to be an example, if you're gonna be on gangster time, be on gangster time all the time. If you're gonna be on business time, be on business time. But for you to have been in the game 30, 40 years, 50 years or whatever, when is the last time Jay Prince's name came up in something, in some violence that he did? Like, his name don't come up. His name only come up getting into other people's business. He's he stay in somebody's business trying to be relevant. Like, go to a nursing home, go sit down somewhere. Raven Father, Charleston White is funny. Yeah, Charleston White funny as shit. Charleston White funny as shit. Hot Rod, your opinion don't matter. You right, my opinion don't matter. But the thing is, I can have an opinion, and can't nobody tell me I can't have an opinion. Just like you. You just made a comment, right? You said my opinion don't matter. Should I get mad at you because you got an opinion against me? That's what it boils down to. That's what we're addressing. It's an interesting conversation. You just proved my point, Hot Rod. You told me my opinion don't matter. And I'm like, you know what? That's your opinion. So should I get mad at you? Should I want smoke with you? Should I want to beef with you because you got an opinion that I don't agree with? This is what it boiled down to. So thank you for making that point. Because you don't see us arguing, you don't see us beefing, you don't see us talking about we gonna take it to the guns and it's gonna be smoke. This is what we talking about. And Jay Prince shouldn't have did the same thing. He made himself look crazy to be a grown man. To be a grown man trying to get in business that don't got nothing to do with you not a promoter in boxing. You just a manager. You probably just the one that bankrolled, Shakur Stevenson, or behind him, give him some little muscle. But who really respect Jay Prince? If you in Texas, you respect Jay Prince. What other state? What other state? Like, come on, let's be serious. It's a point in time where if you a gangster or if you was living that life, you need to sit down and relax. Focus on your money. Eat your vitamins, you know? Eat your vitamins. Go to your doctor's appointment. Make sure your health is in order. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you know your life insurance and everything is up to date, and sit down and relax. That's all you should be doing. Perfect example though. And Charleston White, I think Charleston White then disrespected somebody from Charleston White disrespected somebody from every state on the map. And he be traveling, he be going everywhere. Because Charleston White know what a lot of people don't understand. Charleston White know that a lot of dudes really ain't trying to jump out the window. Raven Fowler, Jay Prince did Honeycomb Brazy wrong. Exactly. Thank you, Raven Fowler. Thank you for bringing that up. Jay Prince is a foul dude. He's a foul dude, and he's a bandwagon hopper. This is another perfect example. Jay Prince is not only foul, but he's a bandwagon hopper. Okay, Honeycomb Brazy, out of where he from? Mobile, Alabama, right? Jay Prince saw he had a little beef. He had issues and things of that nature going on down there. So, but Honeycomb Brazy was hot. And he, in terms of artists, I'm talking about he fire. So Jay Prince, he decided to jump on a bandwagon and say, okay, well, let me throw a little money behind him and promote him so I could eat off him, because that's all it was. That's all it was. It was a business move. He was just trying to make money off of Honeycomb Brazy. So he signed Honeycomb Brazy to the label. Honeycomb Brazy ran it up. They was making all of this money. Then Honeycomb Brazy get locked up and come finesse 2 times. Honeycomb Brazy, the one that threw the alley-oop, told Jay Prince, like, yo, listen, this boy right here, he's hot, he's fire, he's next up. You know what I'm saying? Make sure he's straight. Okay. Finesse 2 times, start dealing with mob ties. They run up a bag, get money, get money, get money. Honeycomb Brazy ain't get nothing out of it. But the foul thing about it is now once Honeycomb Brazy came home, They ain't pull up in no limo. They ain't pull up in no limo. They ain't bring no jewelry. They ain't bring no money. All of the stuff that they did to welcome Finesse 2 times home, they ain't do none of that for Honeycomb Brazy. And Honeycomb Brazy was trying to get out of that record deal because he saw it was like, it was foul. I guess, once they started riding Finesse 2-time bandwagon because he was making them some money, they tried to dump Honeycomb Brazy. And, they was going back and forth. But the other thing about it is Honeycomb Brazy is locked up right now, and he locked up because he was riding in a car with 2 so-called security guards who had guns in the car. And he's a felon, he's an ex-felon, so he's not supposed to be around no guns. So he get pulled over by the police, he go to jail, he's still sitting in jail right now because the 2 security guards, both of them was felons and they wasn't supposed to be carrying firearms. And who hired that security for him? Mob ties. Mob ties. That's the J Prince. That's the J Prince we talking about. He's a foul dude. He's slimy, and a lot of dudes from the streets is. I don't even understand why people be trying to big up and respect dudes from the streets. If you from the streets and you've been in the streets before, then in the streets there's no rules. It's slimy, grimy, greasy, and gritty. The name of the game is win. You know what I'm saying? Dudes snaking their mom out. Dudes snaking they everybody out just to get ahead. So, and people glorify the streets like the streets is some place to be, or people in the streets is upstanding citizens. Like dudes in the streets is foul. If you ever live a street life or somebody from the streets, dudes are trying to get some money. They trying to put some food in their belly. You know what I'm saying? And that's by any means necessary. So, that's what that is. But Jay Prince, he's a foul dude. And not only is he a foul dude, but Jay Prince is also an opportunist. He's an opportunist. If it's a way for him to get some publicity, if it's a way for him to get some money, if there's something in it for him, that's the only time you hear Jay Prince. But back to answering my question, if he's so connected and he got things so much under control, then how did Takeoff get murdered in his city? And how did the jeweler, from Chicago, how did he get murdered? And he was out there with $1 million worth of jewelry. He was, out there gambling with Jay Prince Jr., Boosie, and all of them. And he got murdered in his city. So if his mob ties, if he connected, like Trucker said, oh, yo, he got 50 people that could pull up. Okay, so if he got 50 people that could pull up, how did Takeoff get murdered in his city? How did Takeoff get murdered? From the Migos, how did Takeoff get murdered? And how did the jeweler that came from Chicago, that he was just coming to Texas to show love, to show people the kind of jewelry that he got, let him know, like, yo, listen, I'm custom made, I'm custom paid, I can make it happen for you. And he get murdered out there. Where Jay Prince? Why wasn't nothing done about that? See, that's what y'all got to understand. Stop glorifying the streets and stop glorifying dudes in the street. Jay Prince, at one point in time, yeah, he was somebody in the streets. Now, can you respect him as a businessman? Yeah, because he's been in business all of these years and he still ain't fall off. So as a businessman, yeah, people respect him. He's legendary in terms of that. But in terms of the streets, Jay Prince, we talking about 2-3 decades since he been running in the streets. And the people that's in the streets now is totally different. Like the younger generation is running the streets now. Dudes is not even respecting older dudes. And this is why so many dudes, especially older dudes, this is why they get killed and this is why they get murdered, because you still trying to stay in the streets and be in a young boy's business. Like the streets is a young boy sport. You gotta go sit down somewhere. And I don't think I did a video about it, but he need to address Wack 100 disrespecting him and calling him a bitch. He ain't saying nothing yet. But what do y'all think about the female artist Tan the God that got murdered in Oakland, California, the day that she was opening a beauty supply store. I did a story on her, so if y'all want to see that story, y'all could check that out in my videos. Now, shorty crazy. What she did, they said it was her boyfriend was beating on her and stuff like that. She wound up killing her boyfriend, and then she made a diss song about him. And on the diss song, the album cover, it said X Wood. It had a video. I mean, it had a picture of her ex in a backwood, and she was talking about she was smoking him. She made a whole song. She made a whole song dissing old boy after she killed him. And then she was going on a lot of interviews, talking crazy about him, disrespecting him like crazy. And she do all of that and then turn around and try to open a beauty supply store in her neighborhood. You see, like, this is what happens with clout. This is what happened with people that's trying to be famous, is that you get the stupid award. You get what you asking for. She kills somebody, making diss songs about him, put him on an album cover talking about she's smoking him, doing all of these interviews, disrespecting him, but then you want to open a beauty supply store in the neighborhood where everybody know you, in the neighborhood where I'm pretty sure his peoples could find out where you at. And they killed her on the same day. They killed her in that establishment. Where she was like, this is why clout, it don't make no sense. You got to think about what it is that you're doing. You think it's funny. You think it's a game. And she lucky that, she was able to kill him and get away with it. I don't get me wrong. I don't respect anybody that be putting their hands on females. Yeah, sometimes things happen. You get in fights, you get in arguments, you know what I'm saying? But for you to be constantly like you putting your hands on a female, like, I don't respect that. But because of that history, because it was known that that's what he was doing, because I guess she, she filed a police report about it prior to that. Because of that was going on and she was able to establish that history, she was able to kill him and get away with it. So it's like, okay, problem solved. You handled your business. Why you want to make a diss song about it? Why you want to put him on an album cover talking about you smoking him and then doing all of these interviews like you really in the streets, like you really on drill time, on kill time? This generation is so crazy. And that she fell victim to what goes on in this generation. People kill somebody, they make a diss song about them, they disrespect them, go in the news, go in an interview, and talk about them like that shit is cool. The same thing happened to, what was old boy name? He got killed in Texas. He got killed in Texas. It was the same kind of situation. He was a rapper too. I can't remember his name, so I'm gonna tell you the story. But if anybody remember his name, yo, Sam, you was good, homie. If anybody remember his name, let me know. So, damn, what's his dude name? But anyway, the story is, he was living in Texas, right? It was a break-in. They broke into his house trying to rob him. Now, he was getting pistol whipped and everything, and they was trying to kill him. His girl is the one that wound up pulling out the gun and shooting the intruders and killed them, right? The girlfriend. So now the dudes leave. Him and the girl leave. They wound up beating the case. They wound up getting around the charges because it was a self-defense kind of thing. What old boy do? He go start doing interviews, talking about the dude that he killed. And what happened? They ran down on him and killed him broad daylight. I think his name was something Goober. I can't remember his name. But it's the same kind of scenario. It's, for one, and it depends on what state you're from, because every state don't got self-defense. Like I'm in New York. New York is no such thing as self-defense. If you protecting your life and you take somebody else's life, they may not charge you with the murder, but they're going to charge you with the weapon. They're going to charge you with illegal possession of a weapon. So you still going to get time for the gun. Why? Because guns is illegal in New York. Unless you got a license, gun license. There's not too many people got gun license in New York. So if you in a state where you fortunate enough that you could carry arms, like you could bear arms, you could have a concealed carry permit, you could have a weapon, you could have that to protect yourself, like you lucky, because it's a lot of states that don't got that. And then you could get into an issue with somebody where you could use your gun to protect your life, and you take somebody else's life and you don't go to jail, you winning. You winning. So that's 2 times you winning. Why would you go online? Why would you do interviews? Why would you make songs? Why would you make posts disrespecting the dead? Like they don't have people that care about them, or they don't have people that's going to be looking to retaliate. This is how a lot of people getting killed nowadays. Case in point, let's go to Julio Fulio. I did a whole video on this as well. Another sad story, another sad situation. Julio Fulio, but it's the same scenario. Julio Fulio made a diss song dissing Youngin Ace, right? Now, what happened with Youngin Ace? Youngin Ace was in a car with his brother, with his best friend and somebody else. His best friend name was 2-3. They just came from celebrating 2-3 birthday, right? Somebody rolled down on Youngin Ace car, shot up the car, over 100 shots. They killed 2-3, which was Youngin Ace's best friend. They killed his brother, and they killed his other friend. Julio Fulio go to the grave site of this individual 2-3 and make a diss song at the grave site. Like, you go diss somebody at their grave? And all of these years later, they've been going back and forth, back and forth. Now look what happens. Now we're caught up to Julio Fulio. He got murdered on his birthday. And a part of his song, When I See You, he said he got killed on the birthday, shot down in the worst way, and he got killed on his birthday. So hopefully people get to a point where they start to understand, like, it don't make no sense dissing the dead. If somebody died, like, let them live, let them rest in peace. But when you do certain things like that, disrespecting the dead, disrespecting, you call them dead ops, you smoking them. When you do stuff like that, it catch up with you. You could go to all of these different states where it's happening, and people are dissing the dead ops, and see how it play out. It don't end pretty. It don't end pretty. It's a fad, it's a trend that started happening a couple of years ago. I can't say where it started at, but it became popular, it became fashionable to diss the ops, to disrespect dead people. And as a result, you get a stupid prize, because those same individuals, it wound up happening to them too. So that's just 3 scenarios that I spoke about today. Tan the guard, she was disrespecting her ex that she killed. She got murdered. Julio Fulio was disrespecting the dead ops. He got murdered. And what's the other individual that the story happened in Texas? I can't remember his name right now. If anybody remember his name, put it in the comment. Gunu, Gunu, something like that. Yeah, but that's 3 people that was disrespecting the ops and they got killed. And those are just ones that we talking about. It's way, way, way more scenarios than that. You know, way more scenarios than that. That's why you gotta be careful who you out here talking about, who you out here disrespecting. You know, like yeah, it's a trend, it's popular, but it's not a good look. What are you getting out of disrespecting somebody that's dead? Let them people rest in peace, and you go on and live your life. But when you put yourself in the line of fire, what happened is you get fired on. You get fired on. The streets ain't nothing to play with. But what y'all think about this ain't funny, but it is kind of funny. And LeBron, listen, I don't want no beef. I don't want no smoke. I gotta say that ahead of time because this is how people acting nowadays. You talk about people that they know, people that's close to them, and they want all the smoke with you. What do y'all think about LeBron James' son? What do y'all think about Bronny James? His game yesterday, he had 3 fouls and 1 point. He had more fouls than points. And he threw like 9 bricks. Yo, crazy. But it's a power move though. Think about it. How often do somebody that basketball game is as trash as Bronny James get into the NBA? All because of who his father is, you know? So LeBron James is the GOAT for that. Because I don't even think Michael Jordan, there's no other player in history that was able to get they child to play on the same team that they play on. Like LeBron James is the GOAT for that. But Mr. LeBron James, like pull up. Let me talk to you real quick. Let me holler at you, pimp. Um, somebody get LeBron James on the phone, get him in the chat, and tell him that we got to talk to him because I don't think he understand that he's embarrassing his son in front of the whole world. I don't think he get that. I don't think he understand that part. So somebody get LeBron James on the phone and let him know that what he's doing is he is violating, he is disrespecting his son. He's making his son look all kind of crazy. People making all kind of memes for Bronny James and all of those bricks he throwing. I was just looking at a picture. Let me see if I can find it. I was looking at a picture. They had a picture of Bronny James going up for a shot, and he had a brick in his hand. Said the man, his game yesterday, his stats are so crazy. He missed 9 shots. He threw mad bricks. He threw some air balls. He had 3 fouls. And he had 3 fouls, and he only scored 1 point the whole game. Like, how? Yo, I'm trying not to laugh because I'm trying to respect King James, but it's hard. It's hard. How you get drafted into the NBA. The NBA is like you get drafted if you like one of the best players out there. How you get drafted into the NBA and you in a whole basketball game and only score 1 point. Like, wait, hold on. Like, first of all, I thought I'm not a basketball pro. I'm not a basketball star or nothing like that. But I thought when you shoot the ball in the hoop, you get 2 points. Yo, I thought in basketball, when you shoot the ball in the hoop, you get 2 points. How they give Bronny James 1 point? Like, what was that for? A half a shot? Yo, that's crazy. His stats is crazy. They cooking. Yo, I'm crying right now. I'm crying because it's funny. If you shoot, look, Bronny, and if somebody could get Bronny on the line, like let him know, like when you shoot the ball in the hoop, you get 2 points. So if you shot the ball in the hoop and they gave you 1 point, then that means there's something wrong. That means there's something wrong. What happened? They didn't like your shot. They like tell me what happened. What happened? What happened where you went up for a layup, or you was driving to the hole, or you was behind the three, and you put the flick on your wrist to shoot the ball into the hoop. You supposed to get 2 points, but they gave you one. How you only get 1 point? Like that's crazy. Oh wait. Oh. Time out. Time out. So I know what happened. So he didn't shoot the ball in the hoop because if you shoot the ball in the hoop, that's 2 points. The only way you can get 1 point in basketball is like if you get fouled and you go to the line, you get 2 shots. So that means you get 1 point for every shot, a free throw. So that means he shot the ball, he got fouled, and he shot the ball twice, and he only got 1 point. So a I said W, damn, that's crazy. WNBA player. Because Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, they having better game than Bronny James. Yo, it's funny, but it's not funny. Shout out to LeBron James, though, right? Shout out to LeBron James, who, muscles was that strong that he was able to get his son in the NBA and to play on the same team to him. Like nothing but respect. We gotta clap it up for LeBron James for that. Nothing but respect. Nothing but respect, brother. Brethren. Nothing but respect, brethren. He did that. But Bronny James is out here. He disrespecting himself. He making himself look all kind of crazy. And they gave him he got a multi-year deal. He got a multi-year deal where I think he's gonna make like 7 million, 8 million, and 9 million. But you getting $9 million to humiliate yourself. I'm trying to. I wonder what he think. Right. I wonder what it is that he feel. I wonder like how he feel knowing that he out there embarrassing himself in front of the whole world. And the other brother, Bryce, yo, boy, cooking. Bryce James is a way better basketball player, and he didn't get drafted into the NBA. I think LeBron James did that with Bronny because, like, he got his same name, and that's the oldest. That's the oldest son. I don't know the details. I used to follow sports. I used to follow sports way back when. I don't follow sports like that no more. So, I'm not even gonna act like I'm on the CAMRON and MASE. It is what it is. Podcast and I could do sports commentary. But yeah, that's some of what's been going on. That's some of what's been going on out there. Um, some of what's been going on out there in the world. What do y'all think about? What do y'all think about that? What do y'all feel about that? And look, public service announcement, right? Um, Guns don't kill people. People kill people. It has to be a person behind the the trigger of a gun to pull a trigger to injure somebody else. So with that being said, with that in mind, it's like, come on, man, it's summertime. I know usually summertime when it's hot outside, everybody outside, you know, people got their Sunday best on. It'd be a lot of frustration and stuff like that. So people taking it to the next. This is the season where a lot of people be getting hurt. and a lot of people be getting injured. But let's see if we could do a ceasefire, man. Like, is it that? Is it really that serious? You know, is it really that serious that y'all got to be out here killing each other? Like, I'm just being honest. I'm not even being funny no more, because it's getting to the point where it's beyond sad. Like, you got all of these kids riding around in these poo shiesty masks, and it's 150 degrees outside. Like, your neck is sweating, your face is sweating, you know, your neck stink, your face stink. Y'all out here riding around with these poo shiesty masks, sitting in a car with a couple of other dudes, and y'all riding around looking for the ops, looking for somebody to shoot. It's like, come on, man, it got to be a better way. Like, somebody, you know, somebody talk to their kids, man. Somebody talk to their nephews, you know, and let these kids know that it's so much more to life. It's so much more to life than what they doing. Because y'all don't even realize, like, y'all throwing y'all life away. I don't even think y'all realize that. Let me give you some basics, right? Let me give you some basics. Okay. So you got a problem and you got an issue with somebody, and you want to resolve your issue. So now this is where thinking come in, right? There's a few different ways to resolve your issue or your problem with somebody. One of the ways to resolve your problem is talking about it, right? Another way to resolve your issue is stay away from those individuals. If you see them coming, you go in the opposite direction, right? Another way to resolve that issue is y'all could throw on gloves and y'all could fight, because it's about, if somebody disrespected you and you feel like, you know, they disrespected you and you want to get some get back, y'all could put on gloves and y'all could fight. You know, win, lose, or draw. Win, lose, or draw, you know, you could get your anger, you could get your frustration off your chest, you can handle it that way, right? Um, Another way you can handle it is have somebody that y'all know, you know, intervene and try to deal with a clear head, so they could get to the bottom of who's right and who's wrong. And then they could be like, okay, well, look, you apologize to this one apologize to you, like, be men about it. The other way you could deal with it is through violence, right? And it seems like that's the only solution that everybody chooses. But now let me tell you what happened once you let me tell you what happened once you handle a situation with violence. Okay, for you is you off the meds, you smoking, you drinking, you off the cup, you off of whatever it is that you on. You're not in your right mind. You're not thinking clear. The only thing in your mind, you thinking, okay, I'm gonna find me a op, dot 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 dot, and you know I'm gonna let this op have it. Okay, a couple of things you're not thinking about. You're not thinking about, what if you miss them and you hit somebody else? Or what if you hit them, you hit your target, but then you also hit some other people, innocent people. So now that's more people that got hit. Or what happens if you go on a mission and then the people who you going on a mission against, they paying attention. So now they start hitting at you, right? And then now the people in your car get injured, you crash and all of that. Or you go on your mission, you hit your target, but then you get caught by the police. Now look at this. In most states, right? In most states, if you take the life of somebody else, that is a minimum 25 years of your life that you are going to spend in prison. That's number one. When you decide that you're going on a mission, you're going to slide on the ops, right? If you hit your target, one thing that's going to happen for sure is, if you get caught, you're going to do at least 25 years of your life in prison. So if you 18 and you got to do 25 years, when you get out, you're going to be 43, right? Some states, if you take somebody's life, depending on how you take their life, you're going to get automatic life in prison. That's how some states work, right? Now, let me tell you something about the driver, the getaway driver, in a lot of these cases. The getaway driver is the person that's driving. Sometimes they don't even be the one shooting. Do you realize that just by being a getaway driver, that you're going to get the same amount of time as somebody that pulled the trigger unless you decide to snitch, unless you decide to give up information against them and get less time? Now you're going to be in a prison system labeled a snitch, and them boys gonna try to get down on you anywhere you go. They gonna try to stab you with a fork, a pencil, a knife. Like you just gonna have a rough bed just because you decide to drive a car while somebody shot at somebody else, right? That's two things that's gonna happen. Now, if y'all go on a mission and let's say one of the people that are with you in the car driving, one of them get killed by the ops, like y'all shooting at the ops shooting at y'all, one of y'all peoples get killed. Do you know that depending on what state that you live in, because a friend of yours got killed in the commission of a crime, that everybody in that car could get charged with their friend's death? This is how the law works. And let me give you a scenario to prove that point. This is what happened with the rap artist YFN Lucci from Atlanta, right? He go on a mission, they riding on the ops. He just a driver, mind you. YFN Lucci's the driver. Okay, they go riding on the ops. They start shooting at the ops. The ops start shooting back. YFN Lucci friend got hit in the head. He got hit in the head with gunfire. They opened the door and pushed him out the car and left him there. They friend died right there on the scene, right? YFN Lucci got charged for that murder. And that's why he got that whole RICO conspiracy case. And that's why he been sitting in jail. This is how the law works, right? So if you're young or you're an older individual and this is how you live in your life and you don't understand, what's going to happen after you do what it is that you do, you need to watch this video. You need to listen to this video as many times as you can until you understand that that's what is going to happen. That's the initial things that's going to happen, right? You 18 years old, you're going to be sitting in jail for 25 years. You're going to get out at 43. If you 17 and you got to do 25 years, you get out at 42. If you 16 and you got to do 25 years, you get out at 41. If you 15 and got to do 25 years, you get out at 40 years old. You going to prison a young child and you getting out a grown man, all because you felt you want to ride on the ops. So now that's the initial things that happen. Okay, what happens after that? Y'all go slide on the ops. You don't think that the ops is coming to slide back on you? You don't think about the fact that, okay, you go ride on the ops, you go slide on the ops, you do something to the ops. You don't think that the ops is coming back to do something to you? This is the part that you forgot. So you may be out there. Somebody in your family may be out there. Some of your friends may be out there. Some innocent people may be out there. Because you went and slid on the ops, now you got ops coming to slide back on you. And then now they're going to hurt somebody from your side, and then you're going to go back over there and you're going to slide on them again. So that's the second thing I want you to understand, that when you get into that mode of riding on the ops and sliding on the ops, guess what? It do not stop. You gonna pass away, they gonna pass away, they friends gonna retaliate on you, your friends gonna retaliate on them, so forth and so on. Now, how do you expect to live your life if every time you turn around you got the ops coming through? Can you work a job? Can you get money? Can you take care of yourself? Can you take care of your kids? Can you take care of your family? Like, If your whole life revolves around riding and sliding on the ops, you don't got no time to do nothing else in life because you could be at work and the ops find out you there, and guess what? Op spotter got him. So now those are some of the things that's going to happen. Now let's go to the after effects. Let's say you pass away. Now your family got to come up with money to bury you. Your family got to cry over you. Your loved ones got to cry over you. You know, the females, they going to cry over you. If you got kids, they going to cry over you. Your kids are growing up without a father. Your parents are growing up without a child, or whoever was raising you, they growing up without you. Everybody that got love for you growing up without you. Your life is over. That's it. No more. That's if your life taken. Even if you go to prison, your life is taken. Your life is over. What do you, there's no females in prison. There's no money in prison. There's no designer clothes in prison. You can't go out to eat at the fancy restaurants in prison. You can't do all of the drugs that you do in the street in prison. You can't come and go as you please in prison. Like, these are all of the things that happen as a result of your actions. This will happen when you out there talking about you riding and you sliding on the ops. It's a whole lot of things that play out that you got to understand. If you don't understand anything that I just said, try to understand that you throwing your life down the drain, all because you feel a way towards somebody, and instead of you avoiding them, you feel like you're going to go handle them. Now, let's go with your scenario. Let's go with your logic. If you go ride on the ops or slide on the ops because you feel they disrespected you, or you feel you got a problem or whatever, do it change the fact that they disrespected you? Do it change the fact that you felt you had to do something to them because of how they made you feel? No, it doesn't change it. They still did what they did. They still said what they said. You can't erase that just because you go and slide on your ops, right? What that's called is emotional imbalance. It's called emotional imbalance. What emotional imbalance mean is that you don't know how to control and regulate your feelings, and you allow your feelings to get the best of you to where you feel you got to go do something. And when you go do that, that feeling is the thing that made you throw your whole life down the drain. Because you don't know how to control your feelings. You don't know how to say, yo, you know what? Whatever that person said, they made me mad, they made me upset. I'm not feeling them, so I'm not going to deal with them no more. That's the easiest thing in the world to do. Don't deal with the people. Don't deal with the person. And because it's not a lot of examples of men out there nowadays, right? People don't know how to deal with things like men. Think about sports, right? With boxing, where people go in the ring, they fight, and somebody lose. They face all busted up, eye hanging out the socket, jaw broke, tooth knocked out. Or MMA, people getting kicked in the head. They getting elbowed in the face. They getting choked out to the point like they brain and they eyes and everything is about to pop out the socket. After that fight is over, they are not going to get a weapon to go do nothing to the person that beat them. See, that's called grown man stuff. You have to know how to deal with your feelings. You have to know how to deal with your emotions. You have to know how to deal with rejection. You have to understand how to regulate your feelings and your emotions, you know? And it takes a man or somebody that's thinking as a man or moving as a man to be able to say, you know what? that person says something that I ain't like, but it ain't about nothing. Because no matter what anybody say to you, it really don't affect your life. That's that's how they feel. That's their opinion. Just like somebody a little while ago said to me, my opinion don't matter. And I said to them, okay, so you saying my opinion don't matter, but whatever you saying, that's your opinion. You see what I'm saying? That's their opinion. They're entitled to their opinion. I can't argue with them because that's what they want to say. I shouldn't want to fight them because that's what they want to say. I shouldn't want to kill them because that's what they want to say. Everybody has an opinion. Opinions is like assholes. Everybody got them. So if you don't like somebody's opinion or you don't like what somebody's doing, how somebody's making you feel, the easiest thing in the world to do is to stop dealing with them. That's the easiest thing in the world. And that just that one decision, that one little thing will save you so much time, so much headache, and so much heartbreak. Just by like stop dealing with people, you know? You don't gotta put your hands on people. You don't gotta argue with people. You don't gotta debate with people. You don't gotta fight with people. You don't even gotta like people. If somebody is moving in a way that you don't agree with, that you don't, it makes you feel uncomfortable or it makes you feel angry, just stop dealing with them. It's the easiest thing in the world to do, you know, and it'll save your life. So to all the drillers out there, to all of the young generation out there, like learn to make smarter decisions, man. And I'm going to say, part of your education is watch the first 48. I'm advertising it, right? Do me a favor. And this is for people, you could be older individual. If you feel like you trying to talk to, your younger relatives or people that you got love for and they not understanding where you coming from, do yourself a favor, right? It's on the A&E channel. Have them sit down and watch the first 48 for 48 hours, for 2 days straight. Have them watch episodes of the first 48 and see if they feel the same. Because a lot of them don't, like the first 48, it shows you, and I'm gonna be talking about this a lot because that's one of my favorite shows. But the first 48, it shows you a lot of these dudes that's tough, that you think they killers. As soon as they get in that interrogation room, a lot of them is crying. A lot of them is telling on everybody, right? You see how some of these dudes get laid out, how they stretched out. You see the families crying for them. You see, the victims' families, like it's a very, very educational experience for anybody that's living the streets. So if you feel you can't get through to your loved ones, do them a favor and have them sit down and watch episodes of the first 48 for 48 hours and see if that don't change their life, because the first 48 shows you like the streets ain't all that is cracked up to be. And it shows you how it's situation that is so it's so small, it's so minor. People take it to the extreme and now they sitting in jail for the rest of their life. It's not worth it, It's definitely not worth it. I recommend anybody who have anger issues, anybody who have violent tendencies, anybody who like to ride on and slide on their ops, anybody think life is that deep, do yourself a favor. Watch the first 48 for 48 hours and then see how you feel after that. Because the same people that you think is your homies that's out riding and sliding with you, man, as soon as a crime happen, they be the first one pointing the finger at you. You know, they be the first one pointing the finger at you. Minor and lose their life or get forever in jail. Exactly, Brooklyn 456. That's what be going on, and they don't understand that. Like a lot of these young kids out there nowadays, a lot of them can't fight. They can't. They can't do nothing with their hands, and they doing all of these drugs. You know, they mad frail and they mad skinny. You know, they look like they missed a couple of meals, and then now they go out there and kill somebody and they get sent to jail and they around dudes that's big as like bodybuilders. You understand what I'm saying? And dudes like all they do is fight all day. They go into jail 150, 160 pounds soaking wet, and you in prison around dudes that's built like tanks. Built like tanks that work out all day, that got life in prison and that don't care about punching your head in. That don't care about taking a knife and sticking it. You understand? When you go to prison, this is what you're going to be faced. Now, if you got 25 years to do, you're going to have to be protecting your life for 25 years. You ain't got to listen to nothing. Now, I say you got a lot of YouTubers out there, you know, that they have their YouTube channels. Dudes that did 20 years, 30 years, and 40 years in prison, they got YouTube channels and they try to share them stories. They a good source of information, but if you really want to get results, if you really want to understand what the street life is and, you know, everything that happened and everything that transpired when you out there living that life, watch the first 48 for 48 hours. And then come back and tell me what you think. And for any young dudes, anybody, you know, that's on the chat or anybody that watched the video, you got somebody young or you got somebody that's, you know, that's living that life. And I mean, they looking for somebody to talk to, man, look, drop me a comment or, you know, hit me in my DM on Instagram. Like I want to talk to them. I don't mind talking to them. I don't mind, you know, sharing information with them because I'm tired of like this generation is destroying themselves. And what people not thinking about is these young kids that's out there, and some you got some older dudes that's out there doing it too. But while y'all out there destroying your lives, being drug addicts and running the streets and destroying your lives, y'all leaving kids out here for somebody else to raise, you know? And like your kids ain't asked to be brought in this world. So it's like you bringing kids in this world that you don't even care about. Like somebody care about you, whether you realize it or not. It don't matter how mad you are, how upset you are. Somebody cares about you and somebody gonna miss you when you're gone, right? But y'all leaving kids out here for other people to raise. And then all of the lawyers, all of the doctors, you know, all of the construction workers, all of the police, all of the fire department, all of the prosecutors, you know, all of the business owners, all of these people that we know, right, that are our own complexion. So whether you black, white, purple, or whatever, whether you're from the United States or you from somewhere else, what you got to realize is that the generation of today is the generation of tomorrow. So if this entire generation or a great majority of this generation, all they doing is doing drugs, riding on the ops, going to jail, killing people and getting killed themselves, who gonna be the doctors 20 years from now? Who gonna be the lawyers 20 years from now? Who gonna run the businesses 20 years from now? You know? It's like you canceling and you destroying yourself because you're not looking to the future. You don't want to grow older. You don't want to grow past 21. Life is that hard where, you know, you feel like, man, You don't want to see 21. You don't want to see 25. You don't want to see 30. You don't want to see your kids get older. You don't want to see what you could become like 10, 15, 20 years from now. Like, come on, wise up. You could do all the drugs you want. And that's why I don't do no drugs. Whoever does, that's on you. But that's why I don't smoke weed. I don't do no drugs. I don't even smoke cigarettes no more. I stopped smoking cigarettes probably like 6 months ago, right? Because a lot of these drugs, even stuff like weed, you call it weed, loud, gas, exotic, whatever it is you call it, right? It's not the same like it used to be. People are putting stuff in this weed and is making switches go off in people's head. Like they losing it. In order for you to have the loud pack, to have that gas, that good smoke that you want, they are putting chemicals and stuff in these drugs, which is flipping people's screws and making them, you know, making them like not think and not be in their right mind. So, you know, word to the wise, man. And at the end of the day, like, just do better. And yeah, so that's what we was talking about. That's what we talking about today. I think we kind of covered the things that we wanted to talk about. Um, Shout out and I appreciate everybody that was in the comment section, that has some comments. Um, anybody that was watching the live stream, um, tell me what's your thoughts, like what's your feelings. Put it in the comment section if you got anything to say. If there's anything that you want to cover, you can hit me on my you can hit me in the DM and let me know. Support the channel. It's 3 o'clock. I gotta get ready to get up out of here. Cause when it's hot outside, you gotta wait till that sun go down because it be baking out there. But yeah, man, that's the latest and the greatest. This is another edition of What's Really Good Entertainment. Appreciate you rocking with me. Stay tuned. I might be going live again later on today, but if not, I'm more than likely going to be going live tomorrow. I'm going to try to do at least one live a day, so I can connect with the people. I can see what y'all got going on. So, man, you already know what it is. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay positive, stay productive. No matter where you at in the world, whatever your circumstances are, that's what they are today, tomorrow. It could be a whole lot different. Your circumstance could be a whole lot better. So don't give up, Don't give up. Continue to stay in the race until you get where it is that you're trying to go. Yeah. And with that being said, it's your boy Tyrone Hunter. This is another edition of What's Really Good Entertainment. I'm out of here. I'm going to catch you on the next one. If you didn't catch the whole stream, man, go back and watch that. Until next time, we out of here.